a wee while. A wee while. Last week was crazy busy, and Archangel Michael was at me, just said do a video for like my weekly my weekly reading. So hold on a moment, please. Give me a sec, guys. Suzi's just woke up. Typical, isn't it? Typical. Suzi, you're a pest. You're a pest. Right, I'm back. Yeah, so last week got really busy, so I didn't have a chance to get on. I just did a quick weekly card thingy. But yeah, hi guys. If you don't know who I am, I'm Suzi Parrett. My business is I have two, Angelic Light and Unite in the Light, with the beautiful Diane Morgan. But today Michael's pushed me on here because I've been doing a few videos in the last few weeks. It's been about star seeds. It's been about planetary beings being here on the planet at this time. And I think a lot of us don't always see us as incarnations from other planetary beings, from other planetary planets, you know. And last time I was talking about indigo children, which I believe I'm a scout for. They started to come in from the 60s, and he wanted me to talk about crystal children. And crystal children began to appear on the planet from about 1996, which is quite specific, till about 2010, although few scouts came earlier. The main purpose is to take us into the next level of our evolution and reveal us to our inner and higher power. They are also advocates for love and peace for the planet, which is something we definitely need right now. And I think, you know, what people don't realise is that, you know, I think the God source, without going godly, has probably had an idea, you know, the corruption on Earth has been going on for thousands of years. It's not just in this lifetime, it's many, many lifetimes. So, you know, God sends, you know, the star seeds that can serve God, whether you think of it or the God source. He sends them to the planet to, you know, to help. They are mostly born in the gold ray of incarnation and evolution, which means they have access to the gifts of clairvoyancy and healing. They are born on the sixth dimension of consciousness and with the potential to open up rapidly to the ninth dimensional level of the full Christ consciousness. And then from there to the 13th dimension, which represents universal consciousness. Crystals are usually born to an indigo parent, which is really interesting. So this is where Michael was like coming in on, where, you know, so many of us have come to Earth and have continued to come to Earth for many, many millenniums, whatever, that thousands of years. But we have incarnated from many different lifetimes, and we've incarnated from different planetary beings. You know, I seem to, since I've been talking about this, having information, you know, from being Lyran, being from, you know, different planetary systems, which I always knew I was different because of my gifts. You know, I do see, hear, smell, spirit, you know, the mediumistic senses. So I always knew I was a bit different from normal, you know, normal kind of everyday person. I had my gifts. I was awakened from a very early age. I think for some of us it does take time. Hi, Ocean. it does take time for people to wake up and walk their path. And I was speaking to a guy actually that could very well be a crystal child. I was actually speaking to him this week. He connected with me, and he says that he's solely woken up in the last year. And I said, and he says, it's now I've taken the, like the cover off. He says, I really, I see things so black and white now, which I didn't before. And he said, I think because before lockdown, he was kept very busy working and very much into that. I always call it the hamster wheel of life. You're kept so busy earning money to keep a roof over your head, to pay for your children. So you're not actually, it takes you away from actually opening up to the bigger picture in many ways. And he was just saying to me that, because of lockdown, it's really helped him open up soully and spiritually. So, I think some of us that are here want to walk our path and open up to the fact that the reason why we are here, there's a bigger picture. But I think, there's also that percentage of people that would just quite be happy to, not wake up. And that's absolutely fine. Because it's hard. It's hard to be on this path, of knowing. And that's all I can tell you, because it does scare a lot of people when you have the full picture. And, some people just can't cope with that. And I think solely a lot of them don't open up to, to it, because they're just, they'd rather be ignorant, which at the end of the day is absolutely fine by them. Some people just are quite happy being ignorant, and that is more than allowed, because you do sign up to come to this planet. You do sign up to come in and help humanity, or whatever your soul's purpose is. But when you get here, many of us can be taken down a track, can be taken right off the path of where we were meant to be. And the God source knows it, sees it. Sometimes he pulls you home early, sometimes he leaves you to hopefully you will get on your path. I mean, personally, I was off my path for many years, but that was down to immaturity and the fact that I liked sitting in my own excrement. And I take full responsibility about that. And I've kind of made friends with Archangel Michael since, and the angels and the God source, and God forgives. So I'm lucky, because I was so far removed from where I was meant to be, or doing what I was meant to be doing. And it is what it is, and that does happen as well. But Michael wants me to just give people a different perspective, of knowing, yes, I'm not just an incarnated person in a body. You are a starseed of one kind or another. And that's where he's been coming in on, and he's wanted me to, kind of open people up to that prospect, because we are all supreme beings, whether you look at yourself in that way or not. You are a supreme hybrid being who has many, many qualities within yourself, whether you use them or not, but I wanted to just share with you what crystal children, what the kind of traits are, so you would know what you would fall into. And there again, this is on the guidance of Mr. Michael. I don't get a choice sometimes with what I talk about or what I do, but that's fine. I call him Mr. Bossy, and that's the reason why I call him Mr. Bossy. So crystal children, like I say, became to incarnate around the year 2000. In some cases, like I say before, they send scouts. They have penetrating gaze, sometimes having unusual coloured and often round eyes. Like I say, I'm being that bit older, I would say, for me personally, being a bit more of an indigo. They are sensitive, both mentally and physically. They suffer from allergies and sensitivities called by the environment in factor. I'm hearing to say to you that also tiredness can come under that. You see, as infinite souls, we never needed to sleep on the heaven plane or the other realms, especially if we're not incarnated in a body. So when you come here and all of a sudden, you come in and you're like in this body and you're programmed that you're meant to sleep at night, and all the energies and heavy energies do make you tired on this plane as well. So I think that comes under the fact that you are very sensitive. You might need a lot of sleep. They are spontaneous and sometimes act without even thinking through the consequences. They love to climb and have great sense of balance. They are natural huggers, flinging their arms around people they only just met. They have no awareness of personal boundaries because they feel connected to all mankind and indeed all living things. I agree with that as well. Yeah, because some of the younger starseeds can be a bit flamboyant, and people don't know how to take them, and people are a little bit like, so that does make sense. They are healers and psychics, though these qualities vary from barely discernible to full on. They love music and singing, but hate loud noise. It's funny because I'm very sensitive, don't like loud noise, and I don't like bright lights. I really struggle with that. They aren't comfortable in noisy, overcrowded places and suffer from sensory overload. But I think if you're sensitive anyway, and especially do what I do for a living, everyone's energy affects you. It's very, I am a bit of a loner in that respect because I find others' energy very draining. So a crystal child would be the same. They are badly affected by negative events, both in their personal sphere and worldwide. They're loving and generally easygoing, although they will process through the normal stages of tantrums and temper like most children, which I did. I think, gosh, if I'd come in a bit more grown up, I would have been on my spiritual path a lot quicker, and not been such a drama queen. It's because I was, So I agree. I would agree with that, even for the crystal children. They grow older. As they grow older, they become helpers, carers, volunteers, healers, and teachers. The crystal children exclude love for their family, pets, and their friends. People are important to them. They can't bear if someone they love is physically or mentally distressed. I think for any sensitive soul on this plane, you do struggle with thinking is that empathic side of you. You struggle with thinking that anyone's in pain or anyone's hurting or anything's in crisis, the world suffering. It does affect you, that's for sure. They're usually born to indigos. They prefer to teach themselves what they want to learn, and that's a trait of an indigo, because I educated myself. What I learned at school, what I did at school. Oh, really? I didn't. I think I learned what to tie a tie and tie my shoes and to do a plug. So there you go, guys. Oh, and write a letter. They're the only things I learned at school. I literally left and educated myself in what I wanted to learn. But then, being an older soul, I think you learn so much anyway. You've known so much from past lives. You kind of fall into play with that as well. Indigo children I think this isn't. Crystal children are here on Earth at this time to bring human beings together through art and creativity, love and life. They are here to pave the way for the next generation of star humans, which is really interesting. And that's what I mean. I'm going back to the fact that, we don't always see ourselves as anything out of the ordinary. We talk about, oh gosh, like alien beings, or, oh gosh, are they out there in space? We're pretty much on that par as it is anyway. But we always come from love. We are pure love, whereas other alien beings and that are against humanity obviously aren't. They're not really coming from the God source or from love. So, we come from the God source. even though, like I say, we might come here, we might forget that, we might not know that. We do, whether we like it or not, whether you're an atheist or whether, I don't get I don't throw anything down anyone's neck with religion. It's totally your choice, and more to the point, what makes you happy, because I get that all the time. Oh, you work with angels, so I suppose you're really into God. Not necessarily. Yes, they're God's messengers, but I'm not really. I don't push it on anyone. That's not why I'm here, guys, because man has made religion a control thing on this plane, and God, that's why Archangel Michael and the God source don't ever get me to push it. As long as, look, whatever makes you happy. If you want to, pray to the sun, love it. It's all about you. It's all about what makes you happy, That's all that matters. And that's very important these days. You have to do what makes you happy. Whatever, if you want to be stupid, go be stupid, just whatever makes you happy. Because of such flipping weird times we're in, and it's important to keep your vibration high, and keep, your mental state on a level par if possible. But and I think for me, getting older now, I won't allow anyone to gender age me either. I won't have somebody say, oh well, you can't wear that or you can't do this. What, just because I'm in my 50s? Really? I don't think so. If I want to jump out a plane when I'm 90, I'll go and do it. Thank you very much. Don't put me in a box, a gender age box. No, you're all right. I don't think I want to wear a miniskirt, but at 100, but you know where I'm at with that, guys. So anyway, back to this. I'm hearing Michael saying crystals are connected to the earth and to all of life. They are pure spirit, gentle energy, and vibrate on a high frequency. And you see, guys, even if you're, you are vibrating on a high frequency, that radiates to the earth. That also helps the earth, because you can actually put your energy into the ley lines. So, and that in itself can help with the vibration of the earth. People probably don't realize that, they think, oh, when I meditate, I just, I'm grounding myself into the earth. But you can actually do it when you've got energy coming through you. It's been happening to me for the last 3 weeks. I had a healing session and it's really opened my energy through my heart. So I'm feeding the energy into the earth because that's what I've been told to do to help with what's going on right now. So really interesting. There are channels of communication, whether to be through artistic media or writing or speaking. Christian children are here to teach us, the older generation, and those who come after. There is no time for old structures or old methods. They don't care about gender roles or defining people by profession, creed, sex or colour or religion. None of that stuff is relevant to them. Exactly. You have the whole new way of being honest about who they are, and it's fluid and always changing. And that's where I'm at with that. These hybrid beings are already on the planet, and they've been coming for centuries to help humanity. And like I said, I think a lot of people don't necessarily see, that as the truth. They just think, oh, you're one life and I'm just here like at this time doing this, and, this is going all on around me. But you probably, don't even contemplate that you signed up for it and that you're part of a bigger picture, and that's the thing. I think, when you get on that hamster wheel of life and, you're taken off your path because you've got to, put, like I say, you've got to put food on the table, keep a roof over your head. And it does kind of take you probably away from your soul's mission of why you were here. But, for a lot of us, we get there in the end. I mean, for me, I would have preferred to have been doing this from, I was working with spirit, hearing spirit, giving readings, things like that, all for free at that time. But it's only now that I'm in this age that I've been able to, start my spiritual path and to kind of, because I'm a teacher as well, and to help people and just give them a different way of thinking. But I didn't used to have time for this. I wanted to have time for this, but life can just take you in so many different directions. You think, well, I've got 24 hours in a day, I'm up at 6, you know, and I just think that some of us are taken away from our path, but it doesn't mean to say that we won't get on it. I mean, a lot of people say to me, oh, you know, I only started my spiritual path, when I was in my 60s. But for me, it's better to have started on your spiritual path than never to have found it, or even got on it. So, you know, when people say that to me, I say, don't sweat it. Don't worry about it, because as long as you started it, that's what matters, you know, because sometimes retirement, you know, gives you that opportunity to look for something, can see a bigger picture, if you like. And that was a friend of mine. She was very much like, you know, I was, you know, started this, you know, I only started this 8 years ago, but it doesn't matter. It's the fact, like I say, you've actually started it, and that's what's important. But, you know, Michael was coming in on the concept of, you know, we're all very special. We're very, very special. And we all have these mediumistic senses, whether we know that or not. You know, the fact that you can hear, see, you know, clairvoyance, clairsentience. I mean, I'm quite lucky because I have all the senses, telepathy as well, because that's how I communicate with the angels, is through telepathy. Because part of telepathy is it kind of connects through hearing in the mind, and you know, hearing in your ears. And I smell as well, clear alliance. You know, we all have these senses within us, whether we believe that or realize that. And I think one of the favorite ones that I especially speak to men about when I used to be a barber was the fact that your intuition. You know, you have your intuition about something. You know, I would get my phone out of my bag knowing my man was going to ring, you know, and they'd like, how do you know that? Because I just knew, because my intuition told me, you know. And it would be the same as I'd get somebody's face in my mind, and then, gosh, hour later, I'd bump into him in the street, and I hadn't seen him for years, you know. So, you know, we all have these wonderful, wonderful gifts, whether we believe that or not. But more of us are reawakening, and it is nice to know that. You know, it is really, really nice to know that people are awakening and they're not scared to do it, and they're understanding a bit more of why they're here at this time. And that's, you know, that's what's important, but have reassurance as well that, you know, the light always prevails, and we will get out of this. You know, I don't want to get political about what we're going through, but I really, you know, really like the fact that, you know, just wanting to awaken people, give people a different perspective, and think about, you know, wow, starseed, you know, I'm a starseed, rather than, like I say, just, oh, Joe Blogs, I've come to Earth for this one life, you know, because it's not the case. It's not the case at all. But what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to harp on about that, is I am going to give... Oh, I just dropped my other cards all over the floor. Never mind. Well, I'm going to do this week's cards for the week, for the Angel Answer cards by Radley and Doreen Virtue. And I didn't drop these all over the floor, so let's see what they've got to say for this coming week. Oh, well, there you go. That just fell out. Which is a reassuring card. They're very pretty cards. Very pretty. Right, I've just pulled two, which is really funny, that the ones I've just pulled, because it says, no need to worry. And I really feel that people, you know, these are uncertain times for a lot of people, and we're not sure what's ahead of us. And, you know, I just want you to know and understand that, you know, the lighter side of life, the angels and all that comes with that, they know what's going on. And it's like Michael keeps saying to me, just write it out, you know, because it won't be so important going forward. And I'm like, okay. And, you know, I listen to what I'm told and what they tell me. And that's, you know, that's what I do. And they're never wrong, of course. So, guys, I'm just being I just love the card. There's no need to worry. Just keep everyone collectively, just keeping your vibration high, thinking for the highest outcome for humanity can make the world a difference. In fact, I was somebody sent me a message this week, and this gentleman was doing a live on YouTube, and that's exactly what he was saying. It wasn't an overlong video, but I can't even think of his name now, sorry, but he was just saying, there's people collectively, if you're thinking for the biggest outcome, that's going to help, keeping your thoughts to the highest outcome is the main thing with manifestation. And if we all do that, that can help, I mean, also there's other things that can be done, but that is one thing that can help humanity for the highest outcome, is thinking we can achieve that. Because like I say, that's part of manifestation, and the other one I've got, which is what I was just saying, was listening to your intuition. I was just talking about intuition, that we all have that within us. Every single one of us has that within us. And people kind of say to me, what is your intuition? It's kind of that gut feeling. It's kind of the feeling where you can get a bit like tingly in your tummy, and if you go against it, you pay for it, and because you didn't follow your inner guidance, and that's what your intuition is. It's your inner guidance, but also your intuition can be, your guardian angel also feeding that to you, and trying to point you in the right direction, So listen to your intuition, and there's no need to worry. Right, I'm going to pull one more, Michael's saying, because he keeps saying you don't have to be on here forever. Well, I don't want to bore anyone. Oh, dear. Okay. Oh, gosh, and then I drop that. Honestly, I do this every time. It's hilarious. Oh. Now, this is interesting. And Michael's saying to me right this second, now you know why I wanted you to have that one. Because the card says recovery. And I think after this and what we're all going through the world, I think we all will be recovering and, recovery. And it's so, apt that I've pulled this card because it's a collective. And there's an angel stood behind this lady that's in like the lotus position. And, this is where I'm hearing Michael say that, there will be recovery for the world, for humanity, and they will be helping. I actually feel like that's Michael actually stood behind this lady because of the blue within the wings. And obviously Michael always comes in on one of the 7 ray colours as blue. And I'm being instructed there will be a recovery process. And it feels like for the whole planet, for people individually, but for the whole planet. And that's where he's coming in. But know that that peace will be restored, I'm hearing. This might take time, and it might feel like things are getting darker before they're getting lighter, but just have the knowledge and the faith that we will get through this. We will come through it and walk in the light once again, is what I'm hearing. Yes. So that's where I'm at with that, guys, this week. I'm not going to overkill it and stay on because Michael's yapping on saying I don't need to be on for an hour. And yes, I don't want to bore people. But if you want to contact me, you can get me at Suzi, SUZI, PARRETT on Facebook, or you can get me on my Angelic Light page as well on Facebook. Insta, I'm angeliclight.sp. You can find me there, and you'll find all my details on Facebook. My webpage is www.myangeliclight.co.uk. I have my details there as well. So if anyone would like to reach out for a spiritual reading, which I do privately, or you would like any coaching or anything else for that matter, I'm here. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you, Ocean, for showing up with me today. And yeah, thanks, guys. Take care. Love you lots. Love you lots. I always laugh at this, trying to turn everything off. It makes me laugh. End video. Bye, guys. Bye.